Howdy folks, Cody here with IronVerse Comics doing another IronVerse Quickies. This time on Unbreakable Iron Ranger Volume 1 Heart of Gold. First off, as always, a little context on this Quickie. This is a larger work than I tend to do on here. As you can see, it's a thick one. Very thick. Love it. But I was really compelled to do this. The creator's all about fun and heart, and it shines in the work, as hopefully I'll make the case for you. I've also shared the space with them for a while now, and they've continued to inspire me through how they handle themselves and through the work they put out. But what do I mean when I say that? Well, we'll be going through that here together. Unbreakable Iron Ranger was a webcomic first, and from how it made the transition, and from the commentary included in the book, it was always intended to hit print, which is just wonderful to see. I'm so glad they got this printed work to me. I was not all too likely to read webcomics personally. I try here and there, especially when something really catches my eye. But even then, it can be hard for me. It's really got to have some kind of hook at the beginning that just keeps me reading. And to get me to try can be even harder sometimes. But this work here, follows Ben Young, who's an unfortunate individual whose innate ability to heal made him a prime candidate for cyborg augmentation. After his grandpa helps him escape that situation, Ben is tasked with protecting others like him, those with powers and abilities the evil Dr. Styx can twist and use to his sick whims. Now, I do hesitate calling this a comic a bit. It leans so much heavier on the manga side of sequential art. Facial expressions, action, paneling, pacing are all much more from that path of creating. It benefits greatly from that, as it allows the sometimes loose feel of everything not to be overstrained, overburdened. It's brisk and it wastes no time moving forward. The art is expressive and fun, with character designs you won't find from anyone else. It does often fall into the manga and often comic trope these days of no background, which can come off odd if not handled correctly. Luckily, it certainly handles that shortcut just fine, and like a manga, and not so much like some Western books try these days. I mean, there's some awesome covers too. Let's just take a quick look. Some action and such, paneling, lettering. Another thing that kind of puts this in the Amerimanga category is, as you just saw, it's in full color. And those two do their job well, aside from what I think is a printing issue. However, it may not be, and may just be an artistic choice. We'll talk about that more in a moment. The story is uplifting. It's full of kindness and doing the right thing. It's a gathering of extraordinary individuals, and I can't wait to read more. But I can't linger forever on its obvious and very strong merits. I recommend you folks read it on Webtoons, I believe it's on, or maybe you can snag a copy of these still through Deputy Rust. Definitely look for it. I wholeheartedly recommend the book. But I did find a few things worth mentioning for improvement down the line. Unbreakable Iron Ranger would shine and outpace many, many other indie works had it benefited from a technical eye really being harsh. The structure and execution is wonderful, but can often lack polish in the lettering, specifically in error checking. Now, it's very small. I think there's about 5-6 issues in here. And I would say only once in a while is there a problem. There's some little things like, I think it'll pick up in the camera. You see the scrapes. That might just be part of the art, which gives it some more personality and all. But I didn't mark any specific pages, but there were quite a few typos that didn't throw me out of the story or hinder my understanding, but did mess with flow and pacing just a second, and that's really easy to have happen in a big work like this. I believe a lot of this was remastered as well, so you can get too close to a work and things just slip through. I mean, just check out our original printings of Jack Irons, and page 1 on both issues have a typo. Not any longer. That's been fixed since, but our original printings, yeah, they're there. They're never going away. Um, so a proofreader with like an OCD level of spell checking and just really looking through some things would make this be all that could be in the pacing and the communication level. Both in the story and the commentary. Like I can show pretty quick. Incarnation, little things like that. That's a decent example. That also appears once in a while in the lettering. Little things like that, like an extra letter or 2 words combined, or it's nothing like massive. Like your brain as the writer and letterer, who I assume is Mr. Zach T. Garman here. It's really easy to get too close that your brain just fills that in and you think it's fixed. I've had that happen to me all the freaking time. The other thing, which is a little bit more intrusive in the reading, is that and I alluded to it earlier, is that the colors in the printing come off really dark. I mean, there's an example right there. It's printed on this black page. I mean, that was part of its presentation, so it allows some of the colors to pop more. But then you get pages like this, where the darkness kind of washes things out, I think, more than maybe was intended. I mean, it's throughout the whole book, so I really can't tell you if it was an artistic choice or if it's a printing thing. But that can happen if it's printed on a machine that does better with CMYK digital color format, and you print it using your digital RGB, which you'd use to publish on webtoons and stuff. So I could see that maybe being what happened. It may not be the case. There's a few panels in particular, like I kind of showed you one, that it's supposed to be a darker scene, and it is almost so dark you miss a lot of the line art. I don't think that was used as a choice, but it could have. But it does wash out the panel and make it less enjoyable to look at, and you kind of have to strain, and I don't know if that was, again, if it was a choice, fine, I get it, but I don't think it was, and maybe that's one of the ways it could be reprinted. It's easy to convert the pages to CMYK and then print again. Not easy to print again, you got to pay for that, but easy enough to get it ready for another printing that would be brighter, if that is something they artistically want to do. I think adding that brightness to the work it would really benefit it, personally. But besides those small technical peeps, and they are really small in the grand scheme of storytelling, this was the best damn indie read I've read in a bit. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the characters. And I am biased to Weird Western, so take that as you may. But the characters are clear. They're very fun. You want to continue the journey with Ben and his friends. I really want to read more in the future and watch this story, this artist, grow and polish this thing to the incredible potential it has, and could really hit with just a few small spit shines on the technical level. On the creation level, I mean, this is a wonderful manga, honestly. It doesn't linger. Some great freaking action and art. The lettering, onomatopoeia, all that stuff is just freaking amazing. This is a longer quickie than I usually do, folks, but there was a reason. It deserved it. I really hope you folks will check it out in whatever format you can find it. I'm Cody with IronVerse Comics, and I'll catch you on that old rusty trail. You folks take care. Thank you so much.